Have you ever stopped to think why some seniors remain vibrant and energetic at 80, while others rapidly deteriorate, fading away almost overnight? This isn't merely about luck or genes. No, it's something far more sinister and subtle, daily habits and tiny choices that silently eat away at your vitality. Every small decision you make today could be pushing you closer to either thriving or decline. And by the time you notice, it might already be too late. But here's the chilling truth. The signs are always there, hiding in plain sight. Watch closely because recognizing these dangerous red flags might be the only thing standing between you and a painful early decline. 1. Social isolation. More harmful than it looks. One of the most insidious threats to a long life is social isolation. I've seen this firsthand in my own neighborhood. Someone retires, kids move out, friends relocate, and suddenly they're spending day after day alone. It's easy to think, I'm just enjoying my solitude, but inside the body feels something more like alarm. Research consistently shows that chronic loneliness triggers stress responses in the body, raising cortisol levels and weakening the immune system. I once heard about a gentleman named Paul who was proud of his independence after his wife passed away. Over time, though, he stopped answering calls and even neglected simple things like letting the neighbors know when he felt ill. By the time anyone realized he had a serious infection, it was too late. His story is a reminder that isolation isn't just emotional, it can quickly escalate into physical health crises if we're not careful. Personal tip: I've noticed that even brief human interactions, a weekly coffee chat or a phone call with a grandchild, can literally be life-changing. If you have a hard time reaching out, try something low-key like inviting a neighbor over for tea or joining a small class at a local community center. A small step can make all the difference. 2. Lack of movement, the quiet surrender. Have you ever felt that tug of laziness to just stay seated because getting up seems too hard? We all have those days, but for seniors, habitual inactivity can quickly turn from a mild concern into a major health risk. A family friend of mine, Jean, used to take morning walks until she felt just a bit tired one week and decided to skip a day. That day turned into a few months, and before she knew it, climbing stairs or even cooking dinner left her breathless. It wasn't a disease taking her down. It was her decision to stop moving. Muscles need to be used or they weaken. Joints stay lubricated when we move, and the heart thrives on mild, regular activity. For many seniors, what looks like simple rest can be interpreted by the body as, I give up. And once that surrender sets in, it's a slippery slope. Action step: you don't have to run marathons or lift heavy weights. Even taking a slow walk down the block, doing chair exercises, or stretching during commercial breaks can help. Let your body know you still need it. By the way, if this resonates with you, comment number 1 if you believe daily movement is crucial, or comment number 2 if you think other factors are more important. Your feedback keeps this conversation alive. 3. Emotional isolation, feeling alone in a crowd. Sometimes you can be surrounded by people and still feel alone. Emotional isolation is a different beast from physical isolation because you can live with family yet still feel disconnected. I've seen seniors quietly pull away from group gatherings, skip community events, and lose the desire to make new friendships. It's as if they've turned off the switch that once helped them engage with the world. Studies suggest that the stress from chronic loneliness can increase the risk of early death by about 30%. Walter's story comes to mind. He lost his wife and gradually stopped picking up the phone or opening the door when relatives visited. While his health appeared stable at first, within a year he was suffering from severe depression, barely eating or moving. It wasn't just his grief, it was the complete disconnection from emotional contact. My perspective: emotional connection can be a lifesaver in more ways than one. Volunteering a few hours a week, going to a senior center for crafts or social chats, or even greeting the cashier at the grocery store can restore a sense of belonging. Think about a time you felt truly heard and valued. Those moments, no matter how small, can spark an amazing shift in overall well-being. 4. Irregular sleep patterns, the overlooked health hazard. Sleep is one of the first things people sacrifice, and seniors are no exception. Staying up late watching TV, napping randomly throughout the day, or simply having a light sleep schedule can create a harmful cycle. After 70, the body's internal clock, circadian rhythm, becomes more sensitive. Disrupting it too often can affect mood, memory, heart health, and even immune function. I recall a story about Eleanor, who loved late-night TV marathons. Eventually, she found herself exhausted during the day, but wired at night. She'd drink coffee at odd hours and then wonder why her blood pressure was all over the place. Once she committed to regular bedtimes and limited screen time before sleep, her blood pressure and mood improved dramatically. Suggestion: try turning off electronic devices at least 30 minutes, ideally an hour before bedtime. Keep your sleep and wake times consistent and incorporate a calm evening routine, like listening to soothing music or reading a light book. This consistency can do wonders for your heart, your mind, and your overall vitality. If you agree that a regular sleep schedule is critical, comment in 1. If you think you can function well without strict sleep patterns, comment in 2. I'm curious about your experiences. 5. Emotional withdrawal. When the spark fades, being quiet and introverted isn't the problem. Many introverts lead long, fulfilling lives. Emotional withdrawal, however, is when someone loses the will or desire to connect on a meaningful level, even with those they care about. Imagine Richard, who simply stopped talking to his children after his wife passed away. No calls, no family gatherings, and no new hobbies to fill the gap. Over time, his zest for life vanished. He was physically able to live longer, but emotionally, he had switched off. Doctors often see this pattern. The body follows the mind's lead. When hope and connection fade, the immune system and heart health often decline too. In contrast, people like Thomas, who remain emotionally engaged, texting family members, joining a local club, or mentoring younger neighbors, tend to stay healthier. It's not about forcing yourself to be outgoing. It's about maintaining the spark that reminds you life is worth living. My personal viewpoint: small choices, big impact. I truly believe aging is more than just counting birthdays. I've met seniors in their 90s who have more energy and curiosity about life than people in their 50s. The difference often boils down to these quiet habits that either preserve or deplete our vitality. Diet, exercise, and medical checkups all matter. But if you ignore these 5 subtle signals — social and emotional connection, movement, sleep, and engagement — you might be missing the bigger picture. Fair use note: this information is shared in the spirit of commentary and education, reflecting personal insights and examples that underscore the broader research on senior health. Everyone's journey is different, and it's always best to consult healthcare professionals for personalized advice.